Okay, so today we'll talk about a subject that is very close to, my heart, very close to my method of training is our heart rate and the heart rate based training. Because whatever we do for our fitness, if we are an athlete, if we are a sports person or a recreational runner, our aim should be to achieve a healthy heart rate, and of course, as per our age and current fitness levels. Okay, so in order to improve our heart health, what should we do and what all necessary precautions we should take? So I'll talk about those. This is the blog I have written. So I'm trying to sum up these things. The workout format, what workout format we should follow for all genre of fitness trainings. Then how do I determine what my target heart rate is? Okay, so how will you understand that this is my target heart rate and I should achieve that? So workout format, I always focus on a structured workout format, where we are doing a cardio, we are doing a strength workout, and we are doing proper stretching, yoga, breathing workouts. So everything is equally important, be it any activity. Even if you are a sports person, if you are a lawn tennis player, you are a badminton player, you are a runner, or only a fitness freak person who is concerned about his or her medical issues. Even then, a cardio strength workout where we focus on the muscle mass of the body, where we focus on a healthy weight with the healthy muscle mass, and the stretching in yoga in order to relax and stretch the muscles, do the detox. Everything is equally important. So why does a runner or a cyclist need strength workouts and yoga? So that they do not end up losing muscle mass and therefore avoid injuries or joint issues. So why I have focused on runner or cyclist, because mostly when you are runner or a cyclist, you tend to ignore the other forms of workouts. If you are a runner, you will end up only running. If you are a cyclist, you end up only doing cycling. Okay, so that is something not advisable. How do I determine my target heart rate? Okay, so if you are a person of 45 years old, if you are a person of 25 years old, so what should be your target heart rate? How do you determine that? So I've done a little calculation here where I have taken a number 220. So for a 50-year-old, the maximum heart rate is 220 minus 50, that becomes 170 beats per minute. That is the maximum heart rate. And if when the person is training, the person should not exceed 80 to 85% of this number that you get from subtracting your age from 220. Okay, so this is a calculation, and that this calculation is really important to understand and implement in your training in order to avoid any cardiac related issues when you are training. You all must have heard of people collapsing with the cardiac arrest. A very fit person, a very fit athlete, while playing or while running or while cycling, you must have seen or heard from one or any of the sources that they collapse. So what is the reason? One of the reason is that they are overdoing, they are over stressing the heart. Okay, so your heart beats a certain beats per minute. If you are an adult, your heart rate average, it should be around 70 to 90. If you are a kid, it can be a little high, 90 or 100. So when you are training, there are certain limits you must define. I have seen many runners going over their maximum HR range, and they are overdoing just just for the sake of achieving their pace, like the speed at which they run, or just to achieve the mileage they want to achieve. there they are ignoring the core of the training, that is your heart rate. So we must understand it so that we can implement it and shift our focus of the training. Now I'll talk about resting heart rate. What is resting heart rate? Okay, so when we are sitting idle, when we are not doing anything, sitting idle, maybe watching TV, or maybe relaxing on the bed, or you're on your couch, we're not doing any activity, then our heart is beating. So that is called the resting HR. Okay, so if you are training good, if you are training in a right manner, in a structured way, then your resting HR will start going low. For an athlete, here I have mentioned it goes as low as 40 bpm. Otherwise the resting HR is between 60 to 80 for an average person. So if you are training in a structured pattern, you are doing enough of anaerobic workouts, we are challenging your heart once in a week, doing some VO2 max based workouts, I'll talk about that also, then your resting HR goes low, because that shows that when you are not doing any activity, your heart is also resting, it's not making much of effort to pump the blood. Very easy. Okay, so why a low resting HR is a sign of good fitness? Your physical activity or physical fitness is directly correlated to the strength of your heart. So if your heart strength is high, that means your fitness level is high, your fitness age is also low. When your heart is in the better condition, it doesn't need to work as hard to push blood throughout the body and deliver oxygen to your muscles. Your fitness improves. That means your fitness level is good. Your body is recovering fast. One must work out at 70 to 85% of your maximum HR. We talked about the maximum HR here, MHR. So your training should not be beyond 85 to 90%. Be in a comfort zone. 70 to 85% of your maximum HR during vigorous activity. That is what I will advise. This is known as your target heart rate. Okay, so you must achieve that target heart rate in your vigorous activity, like sprinting or stairs climbing or skipping, or any strength workouts like mount climber, jumping jacks, body weight workouts, any weight training also. So your heart rate should not increase. If your heart rate is going beyond 85% of your MHR, then you must slow down, or you must rework on your pattern of the training. Otherwise it may give you a poor cardiac impact. Okay, so a moderate heart rate falls between 50 to 70% of your maximum HR. So if you are training at a moderate level, so your heart rate should not be more than 50 to 70% of your MHR, that is maximum HR. Okay guys, so this is really important to understand. I have noticed that 90% of us ignore the heart rate, the heart strength, or the heart fitness, just in order to achieve our fitness goals or our health goals. We ignore it. Okay, so this is really important to understand, so that we can train in the right direction. Now I'll talk about VO2 max. To understand it, the best VO2 max is the best indicator of your cardiorespiratory fitness. Your cardiorespiratory fitness. So the primary indicator of your fitness level, fitness age, is your VO2 max. That is the maximal oxygen uptaking capacity of your body. Okay, in milliliter as per your body weight per minute. This is a calculation of your VO2 max, the maximum amount of oxygen our body, or that is especially heart, lungs and muscles, can use at the time of any fitness or sports training. It is measured in milliliter per body weight per minute. VO2 max is a person's aerobic capability. and it can be developed. You can enhance your VO2 max and advanced with monitored and structured training. This is what I always emphasize on: structured training. Okay, so aerobic, anaerobic training and structured workouts explained here is a key to enhance and maintain the VO2 max. One very good example of enhancing your VO2 max can be run at your fastest pace for 30 seconds, then relax for 30 seconds, then do it repeat for 10 20 times. That is the sprint method. At the same time, select any workout pattern where you are actually your heart rate is increasing, it's going beyond your MHR. Okay, but for a very short distance or a short duration, challenge your heart rate more than your MHR, and then relax and then repeat in intervals. Here you will you'll be able to get a better VO2 max, good VO2 max. The VO2 max is important to determine the functioning of heart, lungs and skeletal muscles, that is a peripheral muscle, with the maximum effort in fitness training. Okay, so this is what we need, the maximum effort. So this maximum effort training can be your sprinting, stairs climbing, skipping, burpees, jumping jacks or kettlebell swing, or anything that you think that you can include in your training. A high VO2 max means that your heart can supply more oxygen to the body organs and muscles in that particular time. Okay, so a high VO2 max means, but when you are training with that maximum effort, what happens is you need to understand that, for example, if you are sprinting for 1 minute or 30 seconds, for that particular 30 seconds of time, your oxygen intake goes very low. Okay, so here you are training your heart to work with a low supply of oxygen, and at the same time your VO2 max is improving. Okay, so this is what we need to understand: how to calculate your VO2 max on a treadmill. So these are the calculations, how you can calculate it without the help of a watch, where you can actually calculate your maximum HR, and divided by your resting HR, and then multiply it by 15.3 ml. Okay, that becomes your per body weight per minute, that becomes your VO2 max. So this is a technical thing, you'll find it on Google also, but you need to understand the concept of VO2 max. Okay, so why we need it, how to monitor your heart rate, and how to make your heart stronger by a heart monitoring device, a sports watch or heart tracker. Invest in it. It can be a very good investment, much better than any jewelry or any expensive clothing. Okay, so invest in it, it's important for you. How do I define my fitness age with a healthy heart strength? Fitness age is a concept that we must understand and focus on as the core for our training. Focus to achieve your fitness age as lower as your actual age. Structured workout with adding anaerobic training along with the frequent rest period. So anaerobic training is the workout that we do with the maximum impact, like I just explained in the VO2 max section. So this is a structured training. Because of the increase in the usage of cycling and recreational running in our society and surroundings, we are obsessed with the pace or mileage achieved with cycling or running, and this is the only reason, one of the reasons I started studying about the heart and heart rate and VO2 max stuff, because I had seen people going over running back to back long distance run, doing a lot of high pace run, and people copying them. And here lot of I have seen lot of fatal incidents also. So that was a turning point when I started studying about the heart and heart strength, and how to manage a heart rate as per your fitness level and how to improve it. Fitness age is not managed by covering more mileage. It is directly proportionate to your heart health. If you cover more mileage, that doesn't mean that your fitness age is more. Okay, so it is a different concept altogether. A 40 years or a 50-year old person can have a fitness age of 15 years or 20 years, but it all depends on what kind of training they are going through. And you achieve a good heart health with regular anaerobic workouts. So anaerobic workout I always emphasize on, as per your fitness level you should always opt for a anaerobic pattern. How to lower the heart rate? Very simple. Do workouts regularly. Gradually your MHR will go low, your resting HR will also go low. Hydration, avoid dehydration during the workouts and during the day also, because water intake is one of the reasons the heart performs to its optimal level. If you dehydrate your body, the heart has to work harder to stabilize the blood flow. So in order to achieve a healthy heart functioning, you need to hydrate frequently, especially when you are training. So after every 10 minutes, after 15 minutes, or after, if you are a runner, after 2 kilometers or 4 kilometers, you must have 1 or 2 sips of water so that you can avoid dehydration. I have seen a lot of runners, going running without hydration and challenging them. Okay, I'll run this much of distance without water. They may run that, but that can be one of the reasons behind the cardiac issues. Anaerobic training, like I said, it's really important to adopt HIIT, interval training, or sprinting, or stairs running, any form of anaerobic workout where you challenge your heart with the minimal supply of oxygen. Do in reps. So if you are doing an HIIT, it can be 5 minutes quick workout, take a break of 30 seconds, then 5 minutes quick workout. And sprinting, like I just said, 30 seconds, by 30 seconds start with that, and then gradually increase it to 1 minute by 1 minute. So that means 1 minute fast sprint and 1 minute rest. Stairs running is also one very good example of anaerobic training. On spot anaerobic workouts, I have given some examples here. Burpees, mount climbers. If you don't want to go out, you don't want to hit a gym, you can develop a good anaerobic strength. Burpees, mount climber, jump squats, jump lunges, skipping. Try doing these workouts. Your heart rate will go up like anything. Okay, so do it as per your strength and gradually increase the numbers. Take an expert's advice. These are just an example. I'm not asking you to straight away start doing it. Take an expert's advice, guidance, and make your own structure and then start training. Anaerobic workouts is equal to train our heart in minimum supply of oxygen. That will improve your VO2 max, and then that will improve your heart health. So that is one of the key pointers where you should focus on doing the anaerobic training. So this is a format I have explained here: 30 seconds to 1 minute anaerobic training, 1 to 5 minutes break, repeat 5 to 10 times. But yeah, again I'll say that take an expert's advice as per your fitness level. Your expert or your trainer will make a proper pattern for you, and then start following it, start improving. Pointing out few examples of anaerobic HIIT. Okay, so this is what we already talked about. Okay, so the heart zone, here I talked about the resting HR, where and the VO2 max. So this is where you are training your heart to perform a lower supply of oxygen. We already talked about that your VO2 max, HIIT is equal to increase in heart rate. When you do the HIIT, your heart rate increases, where you go breathless. Then in the lower supply of oxygen, that increase the VO2 max, that improves your VO2 max, and that improves your fitness age also. Okay, so a good VO2 max shows that your heart health is strong. So these are the terms you must start studying and start including it in your training, especially for the runners. I'm the cyclist also. I always keep on emphasizing, but I have seen very few of them understanding it, because there is a lot of myth going on, lot of showcasing on the social media and other platforms, where you are running at a good pace and you are covering so much of mileage running back to back. This all is not advisable at all. Okay, so these are the zones. If you invest in some watch, so you will it will define the zone as per your age. Zone 1 is a warm up, zone 2 again is a warm up, so it will divide the zone. If you can see it, it's not a good image, so it will give you the heart rate as per your zone. Like here it's 92 to 110, that is warm up. 111 to 120, that is again warm up. Then it keeps on increasing. Zone 3 is the aerobic zone. So in the moderate training, you must stick till zone 3 or maximum zone 4. If you go to zone 5, that becomes your anaerobic zone, where you are exerting more. So you must understand that anaerobic zone. If you are reaching that anaerobic zone, that means your heart is making more efforts. So you really need to keep a watch on that, take proper guidance. Okay, how much anaerobic zone you should cover. If you are training at a moderate pace, it should not go beyond zone 4. If it is going beyond zone 4, that means it's alarming. You should slow down. The idea is to slow down if you are training at a moderate pace. But if you are sprinting, you're doing the anaerobic training, burpees and mount climber and other stuffs, in that case you can allow to go to zone 5 for that particular duration. But if you are doing a long distance running in zone 5, then that's not advisable, because that is the anaerobic zone. As per my knowledge and research, I will not advise that. Okay, so this is what I was trying to cover. Calculation of your HR, that we have already talked about. So these are the few things I have covered here. Very important, how to find the intensity of your workout. If you are sedentary, you don't do any kind of workouts, then with no activity, 57 to 67 of your MHR should be your heart rate. Then the intensity of your workout should be this much. Maximum heart rate, if your maximum heart rate, for example, if you're a 40-year-old person, your maximum heart rate will be 220 minus 40, that will be 180. So it should be 57% to 67% of 180. That should be, you should not go beyond that. Minimum activity zone, like if you are doing so when you are training with a minimum activity, or you are a little active during the day also, 64 to 74% of your maximum HR. That is for a 40-year-old, my maximum HR becomes 180. If you work out sporadically, then 74 to 84%. Like this is the defined definition. Like 70 to 80% should be your definition. But if you work out regularly and if you are training at high intensity, that is the anaerobic zone, then you can go beyond 80, 84 to 94, like till 95% of your MHR when you are training for high intensity. So that is the point you must catch on. If you are doing a 10k or a 21k, and then your heart rate is going or at this zone, that is zone 5, then that is alarming. You must slow down, or you must give yourself some recovery time, or take other precautions, because this can give a very poor cardiac impact. So you must remain within 80% of 180. That will be around 160 or something. So that should be your highest zone. If you are crossing 160, then that means that's alarming. So that is all, guys. I wanted to talk about these things. This is really important for all of us to understand, be it any age, be it any age, any form of fitness training, any fitness goal you have. even if you have a goal of weight loss or reverse your fatty liver or diabetes. People come to me, they train with me, but I always keep an emphasis on the heart rate. I always say that we train for the heart. We are not going to overdo things. As per we'll train only as per our fitness level, and we'll keep improving our fitness level gradually. And people who are training with me, they are achieving that also. So that's all. This subject is very close to my heart, so I thought I'll give it a try, explain my blog. This is my blog. You can go and check my blog here at this site. Okay, thank you so much. See you again for the next topic. Take care. Bye bye.